Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, You Better Get Serious About This Gospel. You better get serious about this gospel. Call halal Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWAHSHI. Call halal Yamla Alahayanawa Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWAHSHI. And something that's on my spirit. And as the title reads, you better get serious about this gospel. We're in the latter end of this. There's only a few more prophecies left. These are biblical times that we're in. And now's the time more than ever to sink your feet deep into these scriptures and to seek the Lord. You have all the resources out there to come and seek the Lord, man. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because there's trouble coming on the world like we've never seen before. And we know one of the major prophecies is that RFID, that micro C-hip, which is spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, where no man can buy or sell. This is that hour of temptation, this is that test. Because if you take that RFID, that mark, which is spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, you will not be delivered. You will not be delivered out of this. If you take that mark. And we see President Donald Trump, what's on the table right now in the headlines, he's about to make to sign a deal with the foreign cryptocurrency company worth $2 billion. The company's name is Binance. You see? So we're moving into the digital dollar. And Donald Trump told you that the U.S. will be the world's leading cryptocurrency, place in the world, man. We're moving close to that mark. This is inevitable. This is prophecy, and we see Donald Trump also. What's on the table too is that Aliens Enemies War Act, and in his first 100 days, President Donald Trump has signed 147 executive orders. You see, he's granted federal immunity to the law enforcement across Babylon. And we're warning our people, man, that, danger is coming like never before. We see, we also see down there just a little bit ago, Russia, brought those their warships and parked them down there in Cuba, right along with that U.S. power nuclear submarine down there in Cuba. You see, and right along with all this invasion here in the soils of Babylon, here in the U.S. with these sleeper cells, and this place is divided, man. Civil war is inevitable. World war is inevitable. World War III. This is why you better get right. And matter of fact, let me go here. Because just like in times past, the prophets try to warn our people, and the prophets were hated. The Lord told you He has sent to you all His prophets still to this day. Still to this day, the Lord is sending His prophets, and those prophets that were old in past time, they're right back here again today, Call halal YAHAWAHSHI. But the prophets were hated, man. We're not here to speak no smooth messages. We're telling you, you better get your life in order with the Lord, Jake, or you gonna be put to death. Let me go here. Let me go here. Call halal Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWAHSHI. Jeremiah 38:2. Jeremiah 38:2, it says, thus saith the Lord, he that remaineth in this city shall die by the sword. It says, by the famine and by the pestilence. But he that goeth forth to the Chaldeans shall live. For he shall have his life for a prey and shall live. Yeah, because Jeremiah was warning our people in this time that because we were in captivity under the Babylonians, and being our people in this time of King Zedekiah trying to join forces, go hand in hand with the Egyptians, and Jeremiah's warning them, you need to be obedient, man. Listen, but and they didn't listen. Just like right now, Jake. They just not gonna listen, man. They not gonna listen. It says, Salakia. It says 3. It says, thus saith the Lord, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. See? It says 4. Therefore the princes said unto the king, we beseech thee, let this man be put to death. For thus he weakeneth the hands of the men of war that remain in the city, and the hands of all the people in speaking such words unto them. For this man seeketh not the welfare of this people, but the hurt. Right, and our people want to hear smooth messages. All the prosperity and John 3:16. The Lord loves everybody. Let's all come together. Build your future. Do what you want. They want to hear good messages, man. A lot of our people are joining hand in hand with these false man-made religions like Islam and Scientology and these bugged out man-made religions. Our people, they're not gonna listen, man. But here it is, starting with the apostles on down at Great Millstone. There's only one gospel that we're teaching, man. One name that we're coming in. And it's out of the Holy Bible. There's only one gospel, man, and we're telling you about the prophecies about danger that's coming. But they hate us, man. They hate us. They hate the prophets. It says 5. It says, then Zedekiah the king said, behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you. It says 6. It says, then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon. See? It says of Malachiah, the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison. And they let down Jeremiah with cords. And in the dungeon there was no water but mire. So Jeremiah sunk in the mire. So Jeremiah was put in a hole in the dungeon, in prison, with mire. Mire is mud, and it's probably all type of shit and piss. He just sitting in there, sunk in. And this is the suffering of the Lord for righteous sake, man. And some of the prophets is we're gonna have to face some of this. The servants of the Lord, man, because it tell you in Revelation 2:10 that some of us should be put into prisons. But if we hold on to our crown of faith, the Lord is going to reward us, man, with salvation. And we know you got these internment camps, these concentration camps, that are coming, man. And a lot of our people that didn't listen, they're going to suffer, man. They're going to suffer. They're going to have a field day with a lot of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the ones that didn't listen. But, for the servants, the elect, a lot of us is going to be saved out of these prisons and different detention centers and things like that. Miraculous miracles are coming, just like in the time of Jeremiah. Jeremiah was saved out of this, but he was put in prison. Matter of fact, let me go here. Let me hop over just due to time consume. But basically, Zedekiah didn't listen, man. He didn't listen. And so the Lord sent Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonian army in to get Jake. And our people tried to flee. They didn't listen. Instead of being obedient, it says, let me just hop over. Jeremiah 39 and 7. Matter of fact, Jeremiah 39 and 5. It says, because they end up getting Zedekiah. The Babylonian army end up coming to get him. It says they captured him. It says, but the Chaldeans' army pursued after them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. It says, and when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar's king of Babylon, to Riblah in the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. 6, it says, then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah in Riblah before his eyes. They captured Zedekiah and his sons and his noblemen, but they killed Zedekiah's sons before his eyes. They killed his sons right before he watched. King Zedekiah watched his sons die before his eyes. And this is how a lot of Jakes, man, of our people that didn't listen and that sold out, this is what's coming. This is what's coming in this time of tribulation and martial law and things like that. A lot of you are going to watch your children suffer, man, before your eyes because you didn't listen. And this is going into the history, man. It says, also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Judah. See? It says, moreover, 7, it says, moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes. They cut Zedekiah's eyes out, man. See? He watched his sons get put to death right before his eyes. He seen all his soldiers and his cabinet, people of his staff, man, get put to death. And then what? It says, moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes and bound him with chains to carry him to Babylon. So the last thing Zedekiah seen was his sons get put to death and all of his men, and then they cut his eyes out. They put his eyes out and carried him off into prison. It says 8. It says, and the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire and break down the walls of Jerusalem. See? So this is just going into the history, man. A quick hit that we got martial law coming. We got civil war coming. It tells you, therefore, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. And a lot of our people, you're rejecting your heritage. A lot of our people are telling them the Hebrew Israelite is a cult. We're denouncing that their heritage. They're no longer Hebrew Israelites. Mocking the prophets. See, the Lord is long suffering. He lets you get as arrogant and and proud as possible, man. And then he gonna get you. A lot of you, this is what's coming to you. You know, they got these detention centers and these concentration camps that are coming. You got these foreign troops that are coming. They're going to be skinning people alive, you know, torturing you, beating you, even sodomizing some of you so-called street niggas they're so tough and banging over these blocks. See? They it's gonna get ugly out here, man. This is just the terror of the Lord. Shalom.